All right, I think we are here. All right, I just need 1 second. I have to turn volume down on this. Okay, I think we're good now. Hello, Miss Kim. All righty, we are here. All right, I'm just going to get this board prepped while I wait for people to pop in. We're trying something new tonight. We're streaming in 2 places, over on YouTube and here. So we're going to see how that goes. One never knows. I'm just going to prep this little board as per usual. We're not sure how this is going to turn out. This is becoming more Wing It Wednesday than Workshop Wednesday. Most definitely Wing It Wednesday. Confessing that I just got home from work about half hour ago, so it's always a wing it kind of Wednesday. That's okay. We're going to give it a go. See what we come up with. What the heck? All right, so we have that on there. Hey, Miss Patty, and there's Deborah. Hi, Vicki. Thanks for popping in. All right, let's dry this up. All right, so tonight we're gonna paint, kind of sketch something out quick like I do. I'm gonna do a leaf, a little flower, and some ladybugs. We're gonna see how that goes. And if all turns out well, this will be a kit. And it will also, if you're a member of my Paint Party Playground membership, you will get this line drawing included in your membership. I'll pop it over into the membership group. So if you're a member, don't worry about purchasing a kit. You will get it, the line drawing and whatnot, over in our membership group. All right, let's see how this rolls. That's a little wet still. Hey, Jojo. Miss Judy. All right, ladies, let's get some background happening. I think I'm going to use a little sea glass, I don't know. We're going to use a little sea glass. We're going to see how that pans out. We're not going to see a whole lot of the background, but we're going to get it in there anyway. So let's go a little light green with this sea glass. We'll get a coat on here and then we'll see what we can do with it. Maybe we'll mix in a little bit of color. Why not? We'll mix something else in. Get this first coat on here. What should we mix in? How about a little Laguna, just for the heck of it. Just for the heck of it. Let's go a little white, a little bit of that. Let me see where I think we're going to see some of this up here. Let's get a little more Laguna. And a little bit of that sea glass, and we'll kind of mix it down. Let's just do that. Whoops, I got a little too much Laguna there. I went a little crazy with that. What the heck did I do with there? It is. Well, we're going to see, Patty. We're going to see how they turn out. We're just messing around here, trying to get a background happening here. And I'm trying to see, okay, we're going to see some of this corner over here. I do have a little line drawn out. So we're going to see a little bit of this corner. Let's throw a little white in there, see what happens there. I kind of like to do those like little marbled sort of backgrounds. Multicolor. Try not to overwork that. Let's give that a try. Maybe that looks good. Why not, eh? All right. So that's what it'll be, I guess. That's where we're going to go with it. Okay. We'll dry that up and we'll get that line drawing over here. I'm going to try to not be on here too super long tonight. I have many things to do this evening, so I thought I'd just do a short, quick project. Let's hope it's quick. I don't talk too much. But y'all know I like to talk, so. I have some espresso going so I can get some energy to do all the things I have to do tonight. Still a little wet. Bear with me while you watch paint dry. Watching paint dry. How exciting watching paint dry. All right. I have the YouTube screen up here, but I'm not sure if anyone's watching from YouTube. If you are, let me know. But I'm not sure how that's going because it's probably the first time I've done that. So we're going to see how it pans out. So I have a leaf, a few little ladybugs on here. Let's see. I'm going to just get this lined up somewhat, and I'm going to put my leaf on there first. We'll put the leaf and the flower on. We'll just do it all. Let's see how that goes. All right. So again, I have not painted this before, so we don't know what we're doing for colors. We don't know any of that stuff. So you're seeing it all unfold right now as we speak. Okay, and we'll put the leaf on. We'll do our ladybugs last. We got to get all of this groundwork done here first. Because we're not painting around those things. No, we're not. No, we are not. Okay, so it's on there. So away we fly. Let's get going with a little bit of, we're just going to do our basic greens, our light, medium, and dark for our leaf. Hello, Miss Carolyn. You're watching from YouTube. Awesome. Miss Christine's in YouTube. You're probably my first YouTube viewer. How exciting. So it's working, obviously. Wow, you're multitasking, Deborah. Multitasking. So we're just going to base out our little leaf here. Are you liking that one, Deborah? The lemonade gnome. Hi, Heather. You can let me know, Christine, how many people are over on YouTube. I don't even know if it shows how many people are live. Again, like I said, this is the first time I've been live on YouTube, so I'm not really sure how it works. But, as I go, I'll figure it out. I'm just, happy that it's actually connected and working over there. So it's all good. All good, Deborah. All right, so we're just going to be a minute here getting this basing in. You know how I hate to paint around things. I have to go around these petals. That's going to kill me for a second here. Hi, Deanna. but we'll do it. It's not my jam, but you know, we'll get it done. And I think I probably should have incorporated some of the new DecoArt colors for this, but because I was in such a rush getting home from work, I hadn't really thought about it. I thought we'll just, you know, grab what's on the old paint table here. So I'm going to do my flower with a little bit of banana cream, I think it is. Yeah, banana cream. See how that goes. Maybe a little bit of orange on there. We'll make it, we'll see how it works out. We just never know until we're on our way into the project. You guys ever do that? Like kind of just grab a pattern and do your own colors? And anybody ever get brave and do that? Oh, hole 4, Christine. I'm so excited. Wow. Oh, Joelle, you switched over to YouTube? Awesome. Awesome. There, it's funny because on my main screen, it comes up, both of your comments for both places are popping up in here, which is awesome. See, I'm learning things tonight. But the people in YouTube that are commenting, your names are showing up in red on my screen, and the Facebook people are showing up in blue. So that kind of is letting me know who's on there, which is pretty cool. Let me grab a flat here. Hi, Miss Lisa. You don't, Patty? Why? You should give it a try. It's fun. Just grab take a line drawing and just try it with your own colors. See how it works out. Don't be scared. I mostly use DecoArt, Christine. It's like it's my go-to. I like DecoArt paints quite a lot. So I'm pretty biased when it comes to their paints. Do you use more heavy-bodied acrylics, Christine? Betty, I don't want you having a panic attack. No, you will have fun with it. I swear it will be fun, she said. I don't need you stressing out. Bear with me while I get these coats on here. Hello, Miss Angela from Louisiana. How are things in southern Louisiana? We're up way here up in Canada, way down south. Hopefully you're not getting hit with any of those crazy storms down there. Yeah, that's why I thought you used heavy body. You probably would find it a little bit different for sure if you're used to using heavy body acrylics. I love heavy body acrylics too, but it's a little bit, I think it might be a bit of a learning curve for you, just because, not a learning curve, but just a little bit different because with heavy bodies, they cover so much quicker. Whereas you kind of, as you can see, I have to kind of layer up with the, these are more watered down. So you have to use a few layers to get your pigment that you want and your coverage. So you're more used to mixing your colors and doing things that way. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Miss Eileen. You had to go to the dentist. You're getting what? Don't even say that word. Or where are you, Eileen? Where are you located that you're getting that? SNOW stuff. We don't need that. Horrible. It's too late in the year for snow. I don't even want to say that word. I did hear that we were supposed to get some too, but I hope that's a lie. I hope it's a lie. Oh, you're getting some storms in Texas tonight? Oh dear. I hope everybody is all right. Like, are you talking like extreme weather, Andrea? Ooh, I just got some green on there. All right, I think this will be the last coat I put on here because I'm getting really, oh dear, that's not good. Well, you batten down the hatches, girl. Stay safe from that. High winds and things like that really scare me. We have like in the last few years, we've gotten more kind of severe windstorms here, and a few tornadoes have touched down here and things like that. Literally freaks me out. I'm just not used to that kind of stuff, and I really hate when the winds pick up like that. So I would not fare out well in those kinds of situations. It's because, Becky, I'm trying to not bore you with base coating. That's why I'm trying to do it fast. I haven't tried those, Christine. I should try those. They sound like the soft body golden paints. Yes. Golden paints are really nice too. They're really nice paints. Hello, Miss Mary Lou. All right. So let's get this leaf underway here. We'll get a little shading and all that kind of jazz on here before we work on our flower. So we're going to go right into that with some dark green. Why do I put so many coats of paint on? Because I want good coverage, and sometimes one coat definitely will not cover. You're still going to be able to see your background through there. It's kind of like what we were just talking about a second ago, probably before you got here, is if I can still see my background through there, there's not enough paint on there. You want to have good coverage with your base coats. So sometimes I put 2 to 3 coats on, depending on how transparent the paint color is. But yeah, that's why. If you don't have good coverage, you're not going to have a good end result, I guess is what I'm trying to say to you. Too much water there. I'm just going to go in around these petals and get some shadow in here. And then I'm going to dry this and then see where I need to add some more. Most likely I'll build this up a little bit with a couple coats of green, the dark green, just to get my shadow where I want it to be. It's a big leaf, so I'm going to widen it up just a little bit. And this is just a whimsical painting. This is not by any means a true to life, you know, it's just whimsical flowers and ladybugs. So I'm just widening up that shade in here with a little bit of this dark green color. And this dark green color is a tad bit transparent, so sometimes takes a little bit to a couple coats to build this up to where you want it to be or where I want it to be. And that's all personal preference. I mean, how you want your painting to look is entirely up to you. But I think I just am in the habit of, acrylics are kind of like that. You have to kind of layer them up to get where you want them to be. All right. We'll get a little highlight on this leaf in a second. A little bit more in this shadow here. And I'll widen that down just by tapping. I just want to get a little bit more down here. And I think that should be good for what we're doing. And then I'm going to highlight with a little bit of the light green color on this opposite side. We better dry this so I don't pull paint off. So we're just going to throw some of that on this other side, and I'll probably put some vein lines in this leaf here as well. Maybe do a little dry brushing. Why? So they're peeking through. It just says to me that you probably should put another coat of paint on there. If they're peeking through your base coat, you probably can put another coat of paint on there to cover them up. If they're outside of your lines and they're not covering, you can always cover them with your background color. But if you're using, where are you getting your graphite paper is my first thought. Are you using carbon paper or graphite paper? So many questions I just threw at you, Cheryl. I would kind of have to see a project that you're having issues with. If you want to shoot me an email with an attached photo, I can, if I see it, I can maybe help you a little bit better. It's kind of hard to know what's happening to you if I don't see a photo. All right. So we got a little highlight on there. Oh, nice, Carol. So that's nice that you can pop it up on the TV. Yeah, I never thought of that. That's great. Now you get to see me on the big screen. That's exciting too. That's exciting. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it might matter. If it's waxed, it might be why your paint's not covering it. That could be exactly why. Did you get a waxed kind? Because that might be exactly what's happening. Try Sorel transfer paper. Christine just gave a suggestion for you, Cheryl. I'm not sure what that is. Where do you get yours, Christine? Because Cheryl's probably in the States. Because I saw her reference Hobby Lobby, so I'm not sure. All right, let's get our liner. And I'm just going to grab a little bit of this dark color. I'm going to put some vein lines down through the center here. But our little ladybug will cover some of this, but I just want to get this in here because I want to dry brush my leaf too. Miss Cheryl, I'm using, for this leaf, I'm using Hauser Medium Light and Dark Green. Is the Sorel paper kind of like what sewers use? The different colors, is that sort of what it's like? That sort of transfer paper, Christine? I know for sewing they use, they have different colored transfer paper. All right, so this is just a little whimsical leaf, nothing crazy. I'll grab my, sure I will. There it is. Grab my little stencil brush and we'll dry brush this a little bit. Okay, let's get a bigger stencil brush. So there, Cheryl, you can see if you can find some Sorel paper. That might help you out. Oh, thank you, Donna, for doing that. Hang around. We do all kinds of fun here. Oh, they come off with water, like using chalk then. That's awesome. I should seek some out myself. I don't really ever have an issue with the graphite paper though, so I mean, probably why I've never gone any further looking for anything else. This template will be available if you're a member of the membership group. It will be posted over there. If you're not, I'll make it a kit and put it in my Shopify store. Amazon, awesome. You can find it on the Amazon. What can't you find on the Amazon? Seriously, they have everything. All right, what did I just do with that? There we go. So I'll grab some of this light green. We're just going to dry brush a little bit. Thank Miss Christine. She's one with the suggestion. Thank you, Christine, for helping her out. I gotta find some paper. This is still wet. Don't need a wet brush for dry brushing, would not help. Okay, so we got a big long message here. Miss Carolyn, I have Sorel transfer paper. I really like it. Got it on Amazon. Comes in a roll, so you can cut it what size you need. And I think it comes in different colors. Awesome. Good stuff. I think my brush is still a bit wet. So I'm just kind of dry brushing a little bit of this lighter green in here in the centers. The brush is still a little wet. It's not good. It's not good. You don't dry brush with a wet brush. Sometimes you get to see what not to do when you come on my lives. This would be one of those times. Don't dry brush with a wet brush. And it's really bugging me. It's bugging me. I cleaned it with alcohol, so you would think it would dry fast, but it's not. I think she called it Saral paper, Jody. Just scroll back a little bit. You'll see the conversation. I think they called it Saral paper. All right. There's my leaf. So what I'm going to do is, because I dry brushed in a little bit of that area up in here, I'm going to just kind of spruce up my shade along this edge, and then we're going to start on our flower. Okay. Sometimes when you dry brush, you kind of skip it into areas that you don't want it to be, but it's easy to just go back in and spruce up your darker lines or darker shades. I'm just going to, I'm not sure exactly where my ladybug will be sitting on here, so I'm just going to reline my little vein lines. All right, moving on. Oh dear. Yeah, you'll probably have to wait then. Oh, excuse me. My hair in my mouth. So Jody, when the live is over, you'll probably be able to see it then. You'll be able to go back after that. I think someone just repeated it for you there though. I'm just using a little burnt umber on this flower center. And I'm just going to put one coat on for now because I'll be painting these leaves in. Sorry, I keep getting out of the camera shot. I'll be painting these petals in, and I'll probably be going into my center. So I'll spruce up my center with another coat after I get my petals painted. It's a long story that was. So I'm going to use a little bit of banana cream for my flower. Again, we don't know how this is turning out. We're just going with it, ladies. We're just going to go with it. So you can see I kind of pulled down into my center just for no particular reason. It's just so that I can get into that very bottom edge. Maybe lazy painting, I don't know. We'll get this first coat on here. I hope you can't hear my child in there. He's gaming. I told him I was going live, but there's some strange noises coming out of him right now. And I'm hoping that my microphone is filtering that out so you do not have to be blessed with all of that fun. Oy. kids and their gaming. So I'm just heading right on in there with a second coat. I kind of like this banana cream color. It covers nicely. You don't hear him at all? Hallelujah. That's all I have to say about that. I'm sparing you the wrath. Oh my gosh. It's terrible. I don't know what they get so worked up about. That's all. I just don't know. Gaming does not excite me at all. So I don't understand the fun of it. Anyway, to each their own. All right. This is a pretty color. I like it a lot too. I'm going to add a little, sure I am. There it is, burnt orange. You don't hear him? I'm so happy that you can't. I'm thinking that my microphone probably filters out a lot of the background noise. This is what we're hoping for. Craziness. Craziness. All right, so we'll just come in again with another coat. Because I can still see a little background through there, which I don't want. And then we'll shade, we'll get some orange happening on here. Now I'm not sure if I'm going to blend in some orange or if I'm going to shade in some orange with my, well, you're going to see here what I'm going to do. Oh, well, I kind of like hockey too, but I don't get that worked up about it. Yes, the new baby duck color. I did have that. I do have it over there. I haven't tried it yet, though. That's what I said. I probably should have pulled out some of the new colors for here. We can do it on the next one, though. I'm just going to grab a little smidge of that on my brush, that orange. Let's see, where are we going to go with this? We will just see how it looks, just to kind of blend some in. Whoops, a little crazy there. I think we'll just blend some in. What the heck? So I'm just coming back into my banana cream and just kind of blending that orange down a little bit. And then we'll highlight a bit with some white as well. I think this is probably the fastest way, and it's just a little whimsy flower, so we're not going to be, you know, too particular about it. You would not believe the goings on in that room. I'm telling you right now, I'm so glad you can't hear him. He's howling like crazy kid. He should be sleeping. He works midnight, so why he's up, I don't know. Blessing me with his noise. Your son must be happy that playoffs are happening. Deanna, is his team that he likes still, like, are they in the playoffs? Did they make it to the playoffs? Who does he cheer for? Yes, they do get a little overzealous, in my opinion. All All right, let's see here. It's going to be, just bring in a little more yellow to knock that down a bit. I'm sorry, I keep dragging that out of your camera shot. We'll outline this flower with a little black too. Sometimes they don't, my little whimsical flowers, I don't, I'm not the greatest flower painter, so. They just knocked the Jets out. Who does he cheer for? I haven't been, I'm going to confess, I'm a Toronto fan, so Toronto is barely staying alive in there right now. Toronto won last night and against Boston, but they're hanging on by a thread as usual. Oh, Colorado, yeah. I'm shocked that Toronto did win last night. The last I saw it, they weren't looking very healthy. I thought they were going to be knocked out last night, but yeah, the Toronto-Boston series. But I mean, Boston's playing so crazy good, right? Like they're a force, anyways, to be reckoned with, in my opinion. So, and Toronto, always seems to come up against them. But I mean, Boston is a playoff team. Toronto, I don't know what's going on there. They seem to play well in the season games, and then when playoffs hit. But I mean, Boston knows how to play a playoff game, that's for sure. Try being a Ducks fan. All right, so we're going to come back in here with our center and get that spruced up. So that's kind of what I was talking about. We kind of brought our petals in there over our center. So we're just going to pop that back in. And I mean, no judgment on my flower. I'm not the best flower painter. And like I said, this is just a whimsical flower. So no judgment. Oh no, Cheryl. Okay. Let's dry this, and I think I'll shade with a little bit of just around that center, outside of the center. Well, I don't know that they're perfect, Jojo, but thanks. They're okay. They're okay. Okay. Let's get some of that. Let's do a little orange, a little of that burnt orange. We're just going to a little bright. Let's unbright that a little bit with some water. I'm just going to shade just here at the base, and I'm just going to wiggle my brush a little bit around that center. Just to kind of bring that up into our petals a little bit. Get a little shadow here around the edge of those. And then we're going to be finishing this dang flower, and we're going to start with some ladybugs, the fun part. Get some, instead of these flowers and leaves, let's get some ladybugs happening. All right, so I'm going to grab a little black, and I want to shade around the outer edge of that center. This sort of looks like a whimsical sunflower, sort of, I think. Wasn't meant to be, but I think it's where it's kind of going. Let me get some of this in here. And then I think when I'll dry this, and then I'm just gonna spit it out. Spit it out, lady. I'm gonna use a little bit of desert sand, and I'm gonna stipple in the center just a smidge. Finally got the words out of my mouth. Let's just do that. We'll just throw a little stipple in here for a little something. A little bit of that. We'll add a little white on there maybe. On that top side. And then a little orange maybe. Let's go orange. I had just black when I shaded that, this flower center. Just black. Okay. We'll outline that later, but I want to, we'll outline it with a little whimsy, but I'm going to get these little ladybugs on here and get basing those out because we're, you know, getting darn close to it being done. Where's my paper? Let's get these guys on. We got our big one in the center. And these aren't hard to paint either. They're super easy. Line these little antennas on. We got this little guy hanging off the side of the leaf. And then this little one over here. So I'm going to base these. No, you know what? I don't know that I have to because I got a green. Maybe I will. I'm going to base these with a bit of gray first because my red will pop a little bit better with a gray base. So we'll base these little guys with some of that first, where our red is going, just where our red's going to be. So hopefully with this, I have got a hair that is irritating me. Hopefully this red will pop nicely on here. So you guys that are in here, you all signed up for the little Highland class that I have coming up. If you're not, make sure you check it out. It's only $10. Posted here on my main business page. All right, so let's get these other little ones done. And my membership group is open too if you're interested in joining that as well. If you've been waiting to get in, it is open now. And it will be until we're done the Highland class, and then I'll be closing it again until the fall. So if you want to get in now before it closes, great, because it won't open it. We probably won't open it back up until most likely August. You're in, Patty? Good stuff. Okay. Yeah, flowers are, yeah, I think they're my nemesis too. I gotta say to you, Mary Lou, you know, sometimes they come out super great, other times not so much. But I mean, I still try to conquer them. And I think sometimes I have to be in the right kind of frame of mind to paint flowers. I don't know why. We'll just go with the little whimsical ones. They're easier. You're signed up too, Karina. I think I saw your name up in there. We have about, not everyone has joined the group yet, but I think we have getting very close to about 170 people in there in the class already. So it's going to be a good class. I'm just basing in their little heads here. This little guy over here. Okay. So I'll dry this and we'll get a coat of red on here. I'm just going to use, oh, I do have one new color out here. I'm not going to use it in this painting, but that's the tea berry color. That's that new, one of the new ones. It's kind of a really bright peach color. Like, it's super bright. It's lovely. And then, yeah, I'm going to use Tuscan red. We'll use that red since we have it close by. Why not? Why not? I feel like my ladybug body needs to be a little wider on this side. I'm going to do that. Feeling like I robbed him of a half a wing or something. Okay. I feel a little better now. Okay, let's get some red going here. So we'll do these little ones because I just put more gray on there and it's still drying. So we'll get this little guy based over here. But you can see how nice the red pops when you have that gray underneath there. So you don't have to do coat after coat after coat of red because it can be like that sometimes because it's transparent. So this just gives it a nice base under there. So you don't have to use as many coats and it gives you a nice, good, bright coverage. Because raise your hands, ladies, if you've ever been in that situation where you're painting coat after coat of red and you're getting frustrated because it's never bright red. Me, been there. It's frustrating as all get out. Okay. Lovely. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one, Cheryl. When I learned it, I was like, my God, that was just a, you know, it was a happy day because nothing worse than not getting your reds to cover. Annoying. Especially when you're painting like something like a Santa or something too, and you have a lot of red in your project. These are just small areas and it can be annoying enough, but when you have a big project like that and you're using a lot of reds, all right, so we're going to get this first coat on. I probably will spruce it up with a little bit more once this dries, but I'll just probably spot, fill it in. I'm being very lazy and not changing brushes, and I'm filling this in with a liner brush. What I do. It's already got red on it, so I didn't want to mess around with another brush. Okay. Let's dry those little ladies. Yep, it's a good one, Susan. You betcha. I need someone to deliver me another coffee. I'm out. Okay, so let us get in this little back part here in between his wings with a little black. Yes, for sure, Cheryl. Absolutely. And then this guy has a little bit of that black in between his wings on this back side too. Okay. So we'll just kind of get a bigger brush this time. I'm just going to kind of just skim a little bit more red on top of here. For a second coat, and that's going to be all that I do. I'm not going to add any more coats of red. This is good. But I am going to, you can see where I've put my ladybugs on, especially on the leaf, that they're kind of just sitting out there. We're going to shade a little bit around the outer edge of those so that they have a little shadow on there. I knew what you meant. No, it won't be my son. No, you're exactly right. That's why I was kind of saying it, because Mom moan. And I mean, if I texted him right now, I probably would get an answer an hour or two later. It's like, I hope I'm never in need of an emergency situation, you know, and need help, because they never read them anyway. He's like, don't worry, I'm already in the hospital. Someone else help me. Thanks for nothing. I'm not going to hold my breath. So I'm just going to take a bit of that dark green and just shade around the outer edge of my little bugs here. Well, that's a bit wide, so we're just going to bring that down a bit. We just want to have a little shadow around there. Same as this one. It's kind of like, you know, just sitting out there on his own. We got to get a little shadow under his body here. I just don't see the attraction, Deborah. I don't see the attraction in any of it. To me, it's a time waster, gaming. Sorry, gaming people. But I'm not a fan. Hey, we're in business. Now this little guy, we don't have to worry about too much because he's on the side of the leaf. And I think that's pretty good. We got a little shadow under there now. It's getting a little tight on me there. I'm just going to pat some in there. Sometimes if you overwork your shadows like I just did there, they get too close to your object. So I kind of like tapped a little bit in there because it was starting to get a little thin. Amen to that, Patty. I agree with you there. Not a fan of that either. We need a chef. We need somebody to cook for us too. All right, I'm going to take a little bit of this Laguna because I'm feeling like this little flower here is, you know, again, needs a little shadow around here. So I'm going to put some of that here, a little bit around my leaf too, maybe. Why not? I always find that when you kind of back shadow this, anything, it stands out a little bit better. Yes. There's so many things. If we could just sit and, you know, do the fun stuff all the time and let somebody else do all that work, that'd be lovely. So we'll put a little bit of that Laguna around this little guy over here too. All right, I think I'm kind of happy with that background now. Got a little shade around things. It's starting to look a little better. Okay, so I'm going to grab a little smidge of black for my ladybugs. And because these are so tiny, I'm going to make sure I don't put too much on my brush. I just kind of want to shade the outer edge there a smidge. And kind of along this bottom V here. Now that guy's a really tiny one, so, you know, it's going to be a little harder to see the shade on that, but we'll get our big one done here. And we're going to put a little bit on this bottom edge of this one on the side of the leaf. You're so lucky, Carolyn. Why weren't we born rich? You know, we could have someone do all that stuff for us. Is that how the rich and famous live? They just have somebody shopping for them and cooking for them, and we missed the boat on that one. All right. So for the heads, I'm going to take a little bit of gray, that slate gray. And I'm just going to put a little bit on their heads. These guys are tiny, so we're just putting a tiny smidge on there. And then this bigger one, get a little gray on there too. Too much water on my brush. We're about ready for dots and some antennae. We're so darn close to being done what I want to do. It's craziness. All right, let's get our liner hat. Oh, dear sakes, I lost my liner. I done threw it right across the room, ladies. All right, let's go back into our black now that we got ourselves settled in our seat again. You saw me upside down there. Okay, so we're going to put a little center line down our little bug here. Not on this one, but these two that have the back showing. You go straight up the center like that, and we can add some little dots. So I won't add my dots until the end, because if you know me, I'll have my hands in them and it'll just be a mess. So we'll do those last. But I am going to line my little curlicue antenna here. And I'm going to outline my flower. Let's do this one first. I'm concentrating hard with my lining work. I tell you. Must concentrate. Serious business. All right, so that guy has some really like long curlicue antenna. This guy just got one over here. Because he's a side view. All right, so let's go ahead into this flower. And I'm just going to kind of go around the center with a bit of black, and I'm just going to use like a little squiggly line around there. And then I'm going to outline my petals in such a way. I'll start over here. I'm going to try and keep my hand out of wet paint. I'm just going to do these sort of whimsically so that they have an outline. And I'm just going to use a little squiggly line there too. And I mean, if you don't like that look, you don't have to outline yours. I mean, it's all cool. Whatever you find nice, I mean, you can do. You want to just leave it as is. There's never any rules. Okay, let's get this upright and see what we're dealing with here. Likewise, you can outline your leaf if you want to as well. So you can kind of just, that's got a lot of water on it. Pardon. We'll start over. Oh, jeepers, what is going on with my brush? Too much water in my paint. All right, try that again. So you can just kind of, I told you you'd find things that, what not to do when you watch me. Had too much water in my paint. So we'll just travel on down here. Again, it's your choice to outline it if you don't want to. You don't have to. Sometimes with whimsical paintings, it just kind of sets it off. So a little curly Q on the bottom there. All right, so far so good. Now I think what we can do as well is we can bring some little vines out in these, some little curly Q vines out here in these blank areas here. So let's grab a little bit of the dark green, and I'm just going to freehand these. Not sure how it's going to roll, but let's do it. Let's just do it. We can just bring some little tendrils out here, so we can do some little swirls. Like so, and then same down here, we can bring some little curly Qs down here. And also, having done that, you can also, we can start doing some dots. So you can bring in some little yellow dots in here around your, and this is all just filler, you know what I'm saying? You know, just to fill in those blank spaces. You can use, you know, white, you can use yellow, it doesn't matter what color of little flower. These are just serve as sort of like little flowers. And you can put both colors if you want to. Let's try some white ones. What the heck? I use these quite often in these little whimsical paintings because it acts nicely as filler. All right, let's get some dots on our bugs. And we'll go into some black. And then I think, you know, we should be pretty much done once we get our dots on our bugs. You can just use your stylus for the small ones. Because we just need tiny dots on here. And then I'll use I think I'll use a brush handle for my bigger bug. Let's use this brush handle. All right, we're going in. We'll do, and I kind of try to do them both the same on each wing, if that makes sense to you, so that they look sort of even. It's looking okay. All right, so also with these little black antennae, they kind of get lost in there with that black. So I'm just going to grab a little white. Maybe we can throw a little, see now I got dots on there. Now it's going to be touch and go for me to get in here without messing something up. You can just kind of very lightly highlight those with some white. If you choose, you can add a little white highlight line on their head if you want to. I don't know if you can see that better in the camera shot. It's just maybe somebody who's watching it on their television screen can see that. I don't know. It's kind of tiny to see. Who's still watching on their TV screen? Did your husband kick you out yet? There, you can sort of see it on that one. So I'm just adding a little highlight. I think that's it. I think that's all. So, I mean, again, you could do little highlights on your flowers if you want to. Just any little details kind of just add to it. You can do whatever you like. That's kind of my little lesson for tonight. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks so much for hanging with me. All right. I don't know if you want me to zoom in a little bit on that or not. I don't know if I can. Let's just see if I can a little smidge. All right. I mean, you could go crazy and add some bugs. I mean, a little red bug on the flower, a little ladybug on there would be cute too. You could, put as many little ladybugs on there as you like. Oh, good. Glad you guys enjoyed. Thanks again for hanging out with me on Workshop Wednesday or Wing It Wednesday or whatever the heck you want to call it. It's all good. So this will be available, the line drawing. I'll draw one up for my membership. If you're interested in a kit, I can add it to my Shopify store too, and I'll add the link later. I have some things to add online, so I have some work to do this evening and get all that posted for everybody. Ladybugs are fun. Yes, sir, they are. All right. All right, I'm going to sign off, and we'll see you all next week, Wednesday again at 8 p.m. for the next Workshop Wednesday. So make sure if you're not a follower on my page already, make sure you give it a follow, and then you can come back and join us for the next one. We are usually here every Wednesday. All right. Thanks for joining.